Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Committee of Adjustment to order. We would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional lands and treaty territory of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, which includes the Chippewas of Nawash, unceded First Nation, and the Chippewas of Saugeen First Nation. We also recognize the Métis, whose ancestors shared this land and these waters. We extend our gratitude to all Anishinaabe and Métis peoples and their descendants, past, present, and future, who continue to care for and inhabit these lands and tend these waters. The purpose of today's meeting is to review minor variance applications as they apply to certain lands within the municipality of Meaford. Let me start by introducing the members of this committee. On my far right, Mr. David Cramp, Mr. Ed Ormsby, Mr. Cam Hall, who's the vice chair of this committee, and on my far left, Peter Toval, and my name, Terry Williams. I am the chair. Your municipal planning staff in attendance today is Denise McCarl, Manager Planning Services and Secretary Treasurer for this committee, and Michael Kelly, Planner. This committee is legally required to make decisions that conform to the Provincial Planning Act, as well as the existing county and local official plans. Based on these documents, as well as any additional relevant correspondence, the municipal planning staff have prepared detailed reports and provided this committee with their recommendations. The applicant or their representatives will have the opportunity to respond to any comments or questions raised by the committee members. I will call upon you at the appropriate time. Anyone wishing to receive notice of the decision on either of these applications being heard today can do so by calling 519-538-1060, extension 1120, or through an email request to planning@meaford.ca. Before we begin, Denise, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Have the committee members had an opportunity to review the minutes of the last meeting? Are there any changes necessary, additions? No. May I have a motion then to accept the minutes? David, and seconded by Ed. All in favor? That motion is carried. Before we begin the public section of this meeting, I must ask if any of the members of this committee have any direct personal or pecuniary interest or of a general nature thereof as it relates to today's files.
No.
Seeing none, thank you. The Committee of Adjustment will now consider an application for a minor variance under Section 45 of the Planning Act for 209 Marshall Street East in the municipality of Meaford. The requirement to hold this meeting is that there must have been at least 10 days notice as prescribed by the Planning Act. Denise, can you please confirm that we have had at least 10 days notice? And if so, can you please summarize the application for us?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Notice was circulated on May 8th, 2025, giving more than the minimum 10 days notice. The application is requesting permission to expand a legal non-conforming structure by constructing two additions to a dwelling at 209 Marshall Street East. Per section 4.14 of zoning bylaw 60-2009, the renovation or alteration of a non-complying structure is permitted as of right as long as it does not further encroach into a required yard, does not increase the floor area in a required yard, does not increase non-compliance, and complies with all other provisions of the bylaw. The property owner is requesting relief from section 4.14 to increase the size and volume of the existing residential use. The property owner requests relief to allow the proposed addition to be 1.5 meters from the exterior side yard where 4.0 meters is required. And the official plan designation of the lands is urban living area. The zoning of the lands is R3. Comments were received from the historic Saugeen Métis with no objection to the variance application, and no other comments have been received.
Thank you. Michael, are there any additional facts we should be relevant?
Through you, Mr. Chair. No, I don't think there's anything else that wasn't really covered in that. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer it or anything in the report.
Has each member of the committee had an opportunity to visit the subject lands or had an opportunity to review the files? And if so, do you have any questions to ask at this time of the planning staff? Ed?
Very minor, Mr. Chair. I didn't see a sign. Did everybody else see sign?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I did have one question. Obviously, the property in question has undergone a number of renovations. When was the latest renovation done? That's at the back of the structure. It looks like you enclosed a porch.
So, yeah, if you want. So this, if you want, just
If you can
up on
come
the
to,
picture.
yeah, please.
Hi, I'm Pam Tupper. I'm the property owner. So I'm not sure what renovation, like there was an addition done prior to me owning it. I believe like sometime in the 1970s, there was an addition to the back of the property. And any renovations or improvements since then that I've done, like I replaced all the windows and doors last year. But as far as any additions, I haven't done any additions and I've owned the place since 2019.
Okay, I was just referring to the section of the building on Richmond, which has a different exterior treatment. And obviously it looked like there was a new roof put on, and I just wondered if it was a porch that was on the old building that then got enclosed.
On Richmond? Okay, sorry, I'm not sure what you're referring to. So.
So through you, Mr. Chair. So that area at the back, my understanding is that through looking at old photos of the property, the only thing that's been done there is that the siding has been added. So
Okay.
it might have been a porch back in the 70s. I can't say for sure. But as of, the mid 2000s, it was an enclosed area. The reason I deferred to the applicant at one point is because I didn't have the exact date, but through our research, through what she applied and through all the information I could find, the building as it exists, all of it has the legal non-complying status. It isn't that, the main structure has it and maybe those porches don't. Everything that's on there right now has legal non-complying status and could be enlarged through this, which is what I think you're kind of getting at here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all checks out. It's all fine from that perspective. I can't say what it was back in the 70s, but as of the date that is required to meet, it meets it.
Now, the side yard, where you're proposing an encroachment, is that existing at the moment? Like, does it already, I didn't go out and measure it. But does that encroach already? And this, you would simply be mirroring it on the second floor?
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
So the building already encroaches into the required
Yep.
setback. We'd just be expanding straight back also in the required setback, but yeah, it's already in it. We're not encroaching when we're not before, if that makes sense.
And sorry, one last question. When you're considering the additions that are going on, can you give me an estimate as to the increase in floor space or volume? Because it looks fairly significant putting the addition on and the second floor.
And so let me just bring up the application here and all the measurements were in it.
And while he's looking at, if I may, there is a sign. It was posted near where the addition would be facing the Richmond Street side. And that's because that's where the property line is in question, is on that side of the property.
Oh.
And so it was
Close to
posted,
great noise.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
posted on a hydro pole and I discussed it with Michael. We looked at the site
You're right.
picture and
I
he
did
told me to
see
put it there. Yeah.
And I'll just confirm that's where I told her to put it. So, and it was there the last time I checked.
It's still there now. Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of increasing floor area, so for the second floor, it seems there will be an increase of about 330 square feet. And for the rear addition, an increase of 600 square feet.
So you're increasing it roughly 1,000 square feet.
Increasing the, sorry, not the
Square, feet. Yeah,
increasing the square footage of living area, but not necessarily like the footprint of it.
right.
Because the second floor wouldn't. Yeah.
What is the existing footprint now in terms of square feet?
So the existing footprint is approximately 1,000 plus 390, so give or take 1,400 square feet. And it would end up being, give or take, 2,000.
So effectively, you're looking at doubling, almost doubling the structure.
Not quite doubling, but yes, and it will get bigger. It'll still be within the requirements of the zoning bylaw. It won't exceed the lot coverage requirements of the zoning bylaw, but yes, the building will get.
But it does, in a sense, we've been through these before where there was significant additions to a legal non-complying building in terms of adding additional square footage. So, does any other member of the committee have any questions, comments? No. No. Then, do you have anything in addition you'd like to say before we?
I don't think so, other than like, I believe the house was there before the road, so it's kind of, like
Yes,
the town put the road too close to my house. I didn't put my house too close to the property line.
we understand that.
And so I understand, I mean, I don't understand the reason why you're concerned about the additional size, other than I will let you know, it's to be, a generational living situation. I live with my son and his daughter-in-law and my 1.5-year-old grandson. So I'm just trying to make myself a separate granny suite. And then the second story part will be to give them, 2 bedrooms up, or it'll be 3 bedrooms upstairs, whereas now it's 2. So yeah, that's the purpose of it, is to make a multi-generational living house.
Any other final comments, or questions then? Denise, can you please provide us with the suggested decision and conditions of the variance?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the suggested decision is that the Committee of Adjustment grant variance application number A03 2025 to permit the development of the lands in accordance with the site sketch, with the following condition: that the proposed development shall occur substantially in accordance with the site plan provided with the minor variance application A03 2025, with the reason for the decision being that the committee is satisfied that the application meets the applicable tests for a variance under the other powers of section 45 subsection 2 of the Planning Act as noted in staff report ATJ 2025-07.
Can I have a motion then on the decision? Peter and Cam. Any last minute questions, comments, discussion? Then I will call for a vote. All in favor? That motion is carried. Denise, can you please outline the next steps?
Yes, for sure, Mr. Chair. So as you, the applicant, you can take down your sign now because you've met that obligation of notice. And I will be preparing a notice of decision and send that out to you probably by Friday this week. And there'll be a 20-day appeal period, and then your decision will be final.
Okay, so just to follow up then, do I wait the 20 days before I apply for any building permits? Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
You can upload your decision to your cloud permit application
Okay.
as support for your application too.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've got my own.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't need help. I'd like to.
It's a nice tag.
It is a really, I got, you know what, I got it from someone in here in desperate times. Next door.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
Looking at it, it's- Yeah, they're usually. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fair comment, John.
This is a meeting of the Committee of Adjustment to consider an application for a minor variance under section 45 of the Planning Act for 137204 Gray Road 12 in the municipality of Meaford. The requirement to hold this meeting is that there must have been at least 10 days notice as prescribed by the Planning Act. Denise, can you please confirm that there has been at least 10 days notice? And if yes, can you please summarize the application?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Notice was circulated on May 8th, 2025, giving more than the minimum 10 days notice. This application is related to consent file B06, 2025, which we received provisional consent on February 2025 by the Committee of Adjustment. As a condition of the provisional consent, the property owner made this application to recognize the existing location of a dwelling on the property, which does not conform to the zoning bylaw. The following relief has been requested: a 4.4 meter front yard setback where section 6.2 requires a minimum front yard setback of 7.5 meters, a 1.8 meter exterior side yard setback where 6.2 requires a minimum front yard setback of 7.5 meters. The official plan designation of the lands is rural and the zoning of the lands is rural residential RR. Comments were received from the historic Saugeen Métis with no objection to the variance application, and comments were received from the County of Gray noting no concerns. And that is the only comments received.
Thank you. Michael, any additional information?
No, I don't have anything additional other than what's in the report. Happy to speak on it, but I do believe that the applicant's agent is online or said they would be to speak about this if needed.
Have the members of the committee had an opportunity to visit the site and review the file. Are there any questions that you have of the planning staff at this time? Does the applicant or their agent wish to make any statement at this time?
Hi, it's Kristen.
Yes, if you can please identify yourself and go ahead.
Yep, Kristen Reddy from Georgian Planning Solutions. I am representing the property owner for the minor variance A04 2025. I did present a quick little sketch with the outline of the two items that need the amendment. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but really what we're doing is recognizing the existing building on the property in terms of the exterior side yard and the front yard setback. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Are there any questions from members of the committee?
No.
Mr. Ormsby? Here. Okay. Denise, can you please provide us with a suggested decision and any conditions associated with this variance?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The decision recommended is that the Committee of Adjustment grant variance application A04 2025 to permit the development of lands in accordance with the site sketch. And with the condition that this variance serves only to recognize the location of the existing dwelling in existence at the time of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment, May 28th, 2025, as shown on the site plan attached to the decision, and does not permit any further encroachment into any required yard for any additional development of the land. And the reason for the decision being that the committee is satisfied the application meets the applicable tests for a variance under the other powers of section 45(1) of the Planning Act as noted in the staff report ADJ 2025-10.
May I have a motion on the decision then? Peter and Cam? Any discussion? We ready for a vote then? All in favor? That motion is carried. Denise, can you please outline the next steps?
So Ms. Rennie, if you can advise your client, they can remove the sign and I will send you out a notice of decision in the next couple of days. And then the decision will be final after the appeal period.
Thank you.
So the next meeting is tentatively scheduled for June the 25th, I believe. Can find my- That then concludes this meeting once everyone has signed